National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, 72 is a comprehensive set of codes and standards that dictates how fire alarm systems should be designed, installed, maintained, and tested. Its purpose is to ensure that these systems function effectively to protect lives and property in the event of a fire. This standard is a critical resource for fire alarm installers, inspectors, and authorities having jurisdiction, or OD, who are responsible for enforcing fire safety regulations. NFPA 72 provides detailed guidelines for every aspect of a fire alarm system. Let's explore some key areas covered by this important standard. Fire alarm system design encompasses several critical considerations, including the types of initiating devices, notification appliances, control equipment, and wiring methods. Initiating devices are components that detect fire or its byproducts and initiate an alarm signal. Common examples include smoke detectors, heat detectors, manual pull stations, and flame detectors. Smoke detectors respond to the presence of smoke particles in the air, while heat detectors activate when the temperature reaches a predetermined level. Manual pull stations allow occupants to manually initiate an alarm signal, and flame detectors sense the presence of flames. Notification appliances are devices that alert occupants to a fire emergency. These can include audible alarms such as horns, bells, and speakers, as well as visual alarms such as strobes and flashing lights. The selection and placement of notification appliances are crucial for ensuring that all occupants are effectively alerted, including those with hearing or visual impairments. Control equipment refers to the central panel or system that receives signals from initiating devices and activates notification appliances. The control panel must be reliable and capable of processing alarm signals quickly and accurately. It should also have backup power sources to ensure continued operation during power outages. Wiring methods involve the selection and installation of appropriate wiring and cabling to connect the various components of the fire alarm system. NFPA 72 specifies the types of wiring that are permitted, as well as requirements for conduit, cable routing, and termination. Proper wiring is essential for ensuring the integrity and reliability of the alarm system. Fire alarm system installation must adhere to specific requirements outlined in NFPA 72. This includes the proper placement of initiating devices and notification appliances, as well as the correct wiring and termination methods. Smoke detectors, for instance, should be installed in accordance with manufacturers' specifications and industry best practices to ensure optimal performance. Notification appliances must be positioned so that they provide adequate coverage and audibility throughout the protected area. Proper installation is critical for ensuring that the fire alarm system functions as intended and provides timely and effective warning to occupants. Fire alarm system maintenance is an ongoing process that involves regular inspection, testing, and repair of the system components. NFPA 72 specifies the frequency and type of maintenance activities that are required to keep the system in good working order. Inspections involve visually examining the system components for signs of damage or deterioration. Testing involves activating the initiating devices and notification appliances to ensure that they are functioning properly. Repairs involve replacing or repairing any defective components. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the continued reliability and effectiveness of the fire alarm system. Fire alarm system testing is a crucial aspect of ensuring that the system is functioning properly. NFPA 72 outlines specific testing procedures for various components of the system. Smoke detectors, for example, should be tested using a calibrated smoke source to verify their sensitivity and responsiveness. Notification appliances should be tested to ensure that they produce the required sound levels and visual signals. The control panel should be tested to verify its ability to process alarm signals and activate the appropriate notification appliances. Thorough testing is essential for identifying any potential problems with the system and ensuring that it is ready to respond effectively in the event of a fire. Fire alarm system inspection is conducted by qualified inspectors to verify that the system complies with NFPA 72 and other applicable codes and standards. Inspectors examine the system design, installation, and maintenance records to ensure that the system is properly installed and maintained. They also conduct visual inspections and functional tests to verify that the system is operating correctly. Inspections are typically required on a regular basis, such as annually or biannually, depending on the type of occupancy and the requirements of the authority having jurisdiction. Inspections play a vital role in ensuring that fire alarm systems are properly maintained and that they provide reliable protection against fire hazards. The National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, updates NFPA 72 every 3 years to reflect the latest advancements in fire protection technology and best practices. The updates may include changes to the requirements for system design, installation, maintenance, testing, and inspection. Staying up to date with the latest edition of NFPA 72 is crucial for ensuring that fire alarm systems are compliant with current regulations and that they provide the highest level of protection. The most recent edition of NFPA 72 is NFPA 72 2019. It is important to consult this edition for the most current requirements. NFPA 72 addresses various types of fire alarm systems, each designed for specific applications and occupancies. Conventional fire alarm systems are the simplest type, typically used in smaller buildings. These systems use wired circuits to connect initiating devices and notification appliances to the control panel. When an initiating device is activated, it sends a signal to the control panel, which then activates all of the notification appliances on the circuit. Addressable fire alarm systems are more sophisticated, allowing for individual identification of each initiating device and notification appliance. This enables the control panel to pinpoint the exact location of a fire, which can greatly improve response time. Addressable systems are typically used in larger buildings and complexes. Wireless fire alarm systems use radio frequency technology to communicate between initiating devices, notification appliances, and the control panel. This eliminates the need for wiring, which can make installation easier and more cost-effective. Wireless systems are often used in historic buildings or other locations where wiring is difficult or impractical. Mass notification systems, or MNS, are designed to provide emergency communication to a large group of people. These systems can be used to broadcast voice messages, text alerts, and other important information during a fire emergency or other type of crisis. MNS are commonly used in schools, hospitals, and other public buildings. High-rise buildings have unique fire protection challenges due to their height and complexity. NFPA 72 includes specific requirements for fire alarm systems in high-rise buildings, including the need for zoned alarm systems, voice evacuation systems, and dedicated fire command centers. Healthcare facilities also have specific fire protection needs due to the presence of patients who may be unable to evacuate quickly. NFPA 72 includes requirements for fire alarm systems in healthcare facilities, including the need for smoke detectors in patient rooms, nurse call systems, and staff training programs. Educational facilities, such as schools and universities, require fire alarm systems that can effectively alert students and staff to a fire emergency. NFPA 72 includes requirements for fire alarm systems in educational facilities, including the need for manual pulse stations, audible and visual alarms, and fire drills. Industrial facilities often have unique fire hazards due to the presence of flammable materials and hazardous processes. NFPA 72 includes requirements for fire alarm systems in industrial facilities, including the need for explosion-proof initiating devices, fire suppression systems, and emergency shutdown procedures. NFPA 72 is not only a set of codes and standards, but also a valuable resource for fire safety professionals. It provides guidance on best practices for fire alarm system design, installation, maintenance, testing, and inspection. It also includes information on fire safety education and training. Fire safety professionals can use NFPA 72 to stay up to date on the latest fire protection technologies and techniques. The NFPA offers a variety of resources to help fire safety professionals learn about NFPA 72. These resources include training courses, seminars, publications, and online tools. The NFPA also provides certification programs for fire alarm system designers, installers, inspectors, and technicians. The authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, is the organization or individual responsible for enforcing fire safety regulations in a particular area. The AHA may be a local fire marshal, a building inspector, or another government official. The AHA has the authority to interpret and enforce NFPA 72 and other applicable codes and standards. It is important to work closely with the AHA to ensure that fire alarm systems comply with all applicable requirements. Non-compliance with NFPA 72 can have serious consequences, including fines, penalties, and even criminal charges. In addition, non-compliant fire alarm systems may not function properly in the event of a fire, which could lead to property damage, injuries, or even fatalities. It is essential to ensure that fire alarm systems comply with all applicable requirements of NFPA 72. NFPA 72 is a complex and comprehensive standard that covers all aspects of fire alarm systems. It is a critical resource for fire alarm installers, inspectors, and authorities having jurisdiction. Staying up to date with the latest edition of NFPA 72 is essential for ensuring that fire alarm systems are compliant with current regulations and that they provide the highest level of protection. Proper design of a fire alarm system requires a thorough understanding of the building's layout, occupancy, and potential fire hazards. This involves selecting the appropriate types and locations of initiating devices, notification appliances, and control equipment. The design should also consider the need for zoning, which allows for targeted notification of occupants in specific areas of the building. A well-designed fire alarm system can significantly improve the chances of early detection and evacuation in the event of a fire. Proper installation of a fire alarm system is just as important as proper design. This involves following the manufacturer's instructions for installing initiating devices, notification appliances, and control equipment. It also involves using appropriate wiring methods and ensuring that all connections are secure and properly terminated. A poorly installed fire alarm system may not function properly, which could lead to delayed notification or system failure. Regular maintenance of a fire alarm system is essential for ensuring its continued reliability and effectiveness. This involves inspecting the system components for signs of damage or deterioration, testing the initiating devices and notification appliances to ensure that they are functioning properly, and repairing or replacing any defective components. Maintenance should be performed by qualified technicians on a regular basis, as specified in NFPA 72. Testing of a fire alarm system should be performed on a regular basis to verify that all components are functioning properly. This involves activating the initiating devices and notification appliances to ensure that they are responding as expected. The control panel should also be tested to verify its ability to process alarm signals and activate the appropriate notification appliances. Testing should be performed by qualified technicians and documented in accordance with NFPA 72. Inspection of a fire alarm system should be performed by qualified inspectors to verify that the system complies with NFPA 72 and other applicable codes and standards. Inspectors examine the system design, installation, and maintenance records to ensure that the system is properly installed and maintained. They also conduct visual inspections and functional tests to verify that the system is operating correctly. Inspections are typically required on a regular basis, such as annually or biannually, depending on the type of occupancy and the requirements of the authority having jurisdiction. NFPA 72 provides detailed requirements for the types and locations of initiating devices. Smoke detectors are required in most areas of a building, including sleeping rooms, corridors, and common areas. Heat detectors are typically used in areas where smoke detectors are not suitable, such as kitchens and mechanical rooms. Manual pull stations are required at each exit and at other locations as determined by the authority having jurisdiction. Flame detectors are used in areas where flammable liquids or gases are present. NFPA 72 also specifies the types and locations of notification appliances. Audible alarms, such as horns, bells, and speakers are required to provide a clear and distinct alarm signal throughout the building. Visual alarms, such as strobes and flashing lights, are required to alert occupants with hearing impairments. The placement of notification appliances should be carefully considered to ensure that all occupants are effectively alerted to a fire emergency. The control panel is the central component of a fire alarm system. It receives signals from initiating devices, processes those signals, and activates the appropriate notification appliances. The control panel should be located in a secure area and should be accessible to authorized personnel only. It should also have backup power sources to ensure continued operation during power outages. Wiring methods for fire alarm systems are specified in NFPA 72. The wiring must be installed in accordance with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and must be protected from physical damage. The wiring should also be color-coded to facilitate identification and troubleshooting. Supervision of fire alarm systems is required to ensure that the system is functioning properly at all times. This involves monitoring the system for faults such as open circuits, short circuits, and ground faults. If a fault is detected, the control panel should provide an audible and visual alarm to alert authorized personnel. Documentation of fire alarm systems is essential for ensuring that the system is properly maintained and that it complies with all applicable requirements. This includes maintaining records of system design, installation, maintenance, testing, and inspection. The documentation should be readily available for review by authorized personnel and the authority having jurisdiction. NFPA 72 is a living document that is constantly evolving to reflect the latest advancements in fire protection technology and best practices. It is important to stay up to date with the latest edition of NFPA 72 to ensure that fire alarm systems are compliant with current regulations and that they provide the highest level of protection. Proper understanding and application of NFPA 72 are essential for protecting lives and property from the devastating effects of fire. Remember to consult the full NFPA 72 document and work with qualified professionals for specific applications and interpretations. This overview is for informational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice.